Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, ladies and gentlemen, and you are now listening to another episode of the world famous The University Love, the best podcast in one, two, three galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down here in Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, it is hot. It is hot. We are in Florida. We are cooking ourselves. I put the butter on myself. I'm baking at 400 degrees. I'm going to pull myself out the oven as soon as we're done with this podcast. But ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about something very important. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about always, a lot of times people make the mistake, ladies and gents, they make the mistake of trying to identify themselves with a city, with a neighborhood, with a state. Ladies and gentlemen, don't do that, okay? Don't do that. You're better than that. You're your own individual. What makes you unique? What makes you stand out? What makes you a you? What are you trying to sell to the public, okay? Being from New York, that ain't gonna help you. Being from Louisiana, baby. I mean, not Louisiana, excuse me. New Orleans, baby. All of that is great. All of that is nice. Hey, we all grew up somewhere. We all are from a place. Being from Compton doesn't make you super crip, okay? Besides, who wants to be a crip these days? All crips do is go around telling them themselves you don't want to do that. People from New York, let them tell it they're super smart. We know this, we know that. They don't know geography very well. And according to some people in New York, they're so brilliant, but they complain about gentrification. Make it make sense. Protect your own neighborhood if you're so smart, okay? Ladies and gents, I'm telling you, to identify yourself with a place, with a team. You see it all the time whenever they talk about the Philadelphia, any team from Philadelphia. Oh, people from Philly, they're tough. Blah 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 blah. It's very boring. It's very generic. They boo Santa Claus. Dot 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 dot. Chicago. A few months ago, I saw people, they was talking about some neighborhood in Chicago called O Block. Oh, O Block. Don't come to O Block. You're not allowed to come to O Block. What? And who cares? First off, Chicago, it's a nice place and all that, but a neighborhood, don't come to this neighborhood. This is a tough neighborhood. And we've all walked down the street. In America these days, living in America, walking down the street anywhere, people are scamming, people are robbing, bugging, shooting. It doesn't matter where you're from. As I told you the other day, man, there's you can go. Well, no, I didn't tell this audience. I was recording my audio programs, and I was talking about traffic. There is traffic no matter from LA, Seattle to Omaha, Nebraska to Columbia, Missouri. It is traffic all over the place. None of that matters, okay? Where you're from, yeah, you could be from Brooklyn. That's cool and all, but we don't. Nobody needs to hear that every 5 minutes. I will tell you one of the best stories I remember when I first moved to Atlanta, GA. Okay, I moved to Atlanta, and I was waiting at the bus stop. I was waiting at the bus stop, and this guy, I was like, "What's going on, brother?" And he was like, "Not much, man. Yeah, it's a little slow around here." And I was like, "Okay." And I didn't know what he was talking about. But he's like, "It's a little slow, man. I'm used to things moving all the time. I'm from New York City." And it's like, and I was like, I really don't care, but whatever. I was like, "Oh, you from New York, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's cool." And he's like, "Yeah, my car in the shop, my Lambo or whatever, Lambo, some type of expensive car, his Lambo or his Porsche, something like that was in the shop." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And fast forward 6 months later, we caught the bus, we got off the bus, we said our goodbyes. 6 months later, I had got me a car. It was not a Lamborghini, It was better than a Lamborghini. It was like a Chevy or something like that. Anyway, I bought the car for like $2,000, I think, 200, something like that. I love those type of cars, me personally. But I remember I was driving. I was coming out of my apartment, stop. I saw that guy. I was like, "What's going on, man?" He's like, "What's up, man?" He said, "Oh, I see you got your little car, man. You got your little whip." Yeah, I got me a little whip. He's like, "Man, you ain't gonna believe this, man. Still in the shop." I was like, "Oh, for real?" Yeah, 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 it's still in the shop. I was like, oh, "Okay." He's like, "All right, then, man. It's good to see you, man. I'm glad you got your little whip, man." So yeah, I got my little whip. I drove off, and I ain't never seen the guy since, but it's just funny how he's like, "Oh man, New York is slow and it's fast." And every time I hear somebody from New York, because we have a lot of people, my wife is from the beautiful state of New Jersey, beautiful state of New Jersey. I love New Jersey. I love the lemonade, the boardwalk, and hey, listen, I've been in New York, and New York is a nice place to go visit, and it's cool, I mean, I ain't got no problem with it. But my thing is, listen, don't make that your whole identity, okay? Where are you going in life? Like, what are you doing? Because yeah, it's cool if you live in New York, but if you don't have a lot of money, I mean, what are you doing in New York? And that's why a lot of people they never say this. They move away from New York. They move to the Charlotte. They move to the Houston. They think, oh, it's gonna be cheaper in these other places, and then they spend a lot of time bitching, complaining, moaning, and groaning about, man, if this was New York, the bodega would have this, the bodega would have that, blah 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 blah. You hear people from Philadelphia. One time I was somewhere getting a sandwich or something, and he was like, "Oh man, this John here, this joint, whatever they say, man, they need this is Philly. Like, brother, this is not Philadelphia. You are in Atlanta, Georgia. Get them damn chicken wings and get out, get the wings and get out of the way, man. What are you talking about? Listen, I grew up in a small town. Listen, I am happy to be from that small town. I enjoyed my time in that small town. When my time was up, I was like, well, I can keep living here or I can move. I decided to go join the Navy and I wanted to live in California. I did that. I went out to California. I enjoyed it. I liked it very much. San Diego was a wonderful town, was a wonderful city with wonderful people. They had a nice public transportation that I enjoyed very much. And when my time was up, I moved back to Missouri to live with my parents, and they moved up the road, and it was cool there. And then when it was time for me to go, when I got tired of that, I said, you know what? I am going to move, you know, and I moved to Atlanta. I used my friend's address. This is a great story, ladies and gentlemen. I got this trucking job. There was two places. They said, hey, you can go to Memphis or you can go to Atlanta. And I didn't want to really live in Memphis because I was from 2 hours there. And I said, let me try Atlanta. And I remember I called my friend and I was like, yo, man, you got an address I can use? These people want to hire me to work down in around Georgia. I said, I ain't got no place. And my friend said, yeah, you can use my mom's address. And I used his mom's address. I got the job and I came to Atlanta with my duffel bag and I took it from there. And now I'm happy to say that I am from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm happy about that. But I see it all the time. You see it in the comments. You see people whenever they post something about Atlanta, and you always see somebody as a real AT alien. It's like nobody cares. Nobody cares. I am happy to be from Georgia. I'm happy to meet my wife. She's from Georgia. But I have not let that be my identity. I am who I am. I am gonna do what I'm gonna do. I host this show. I enjoy this show. This show is a part of me. I own this show. I control this show. I like that. You identify with things that you own. Identify with things that you can do. Hanging out on a block on the corner, it's not yours. It's like that's not your identity. That's not. It's great that you're from New York. You know some people. You met people. That's wonderful. That's great. You're from Chicago. That's wonderful. That's great. But don't let that be the define, because these places they are going to run with or without you. People are going to live their lives with or without you. People are going to survive with or without you. Sorry to tell you that. I learned that very early on. I remember I was in the Navy. I went back to go visit, and I just remember talking to my friends, and I was like, man, one of my questions was, y'all don't, what's going on? Why y'all don't call? And I thought, yeah, they don't call They don't call no more because they don't have to. They don't have to. They don't have to deal with me no more. You know what I mean? Like it's a wrap. We were friends. We're still friends, but we're not that. We were just some people that knew each other. We were some people that had to be tied together because we are from this place. We're not necessarily that good of friends. The two of my best friends I met, well, my two best friends I met, they're in the military. One's from California, one's from Georgia. We are great friends because no matter where I'm at, no matter where I go, I will always keep in touch with them. Always find out what they're doing. I know their family. I ask about their girlfriends, the wives. I ask about kids. I'm always interested, always curious about that. I had a cousin I grew up with. He's like a little brother to me. We've grown up. He's moved to Virginia. I moved to Georgia. We keep in contact on a regular basis. We keep in touch. We keep in contact. We're always gonna be road dogs. This is just the way it is. Some people are gonna come with you. Some people are not. It's just the way it is. It doesn't matter where you're from. It's a matter of, hey, what's going on in your life? What are you doing right now? What are you gonna do? You are you. You are great. You have to tap into that. It's not about, oh, I'm such a genius because I'm from Indianapolis. I'm from Naptown, okay? Or I'm from Birmingham. That's great. Hey, it's wonderful where you grew up. It's wonderful to have nice parents. I am very happy. I'm very blessed that I grew up with two great people as parents. They raised me. They instilled in me things. I have learned other things and I instilled in that. The one thing that I take away from my parents that I always admire is my parents. We always ate at the dinner table together. We always had dinner at the dinner table, and I have taken that and I have instilled that in my family. Me and my wife and my baby, and sometimes my great sister in law Christina will come by and visit. Anybody else that wants to come by and visit, but sometimes she's there and we have dinner and it's nice. And we talk about what's going on, and me and my wife and the baby. We go out, we go inside the restaurant, we sit, we chit chat. It's a nice time. I enjoy that. I got that from my parents. We didn't just run to the TV and sit by the TV in front of the TV. Sat there, we had dinner. Blah 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 blah. We didn't do a lot of talking. We did a lot more eating than talking, but still, we was together during that time. And so it's not, hey man, hey, I'm from, hey, listen, that works in your marketing if you're a local person. If you're local and you want to tell people, hey, Philadelphia, hey, I'm selling cheesesteaks. You love a good cheesesteak. Yeah, it's great. Play on that. But if you're trying to go national, you're trying to go, next universe, don't do that. Okay. I remember one of the greatest mistakes that Bill Simmons is a good commentator. He's a good writer. He had Grantland. He has the Ringer, and Bill Simmons. I think he's a great guy. I remember he had this show on HBO, and I was excited to watch it. And it was like 8, 9 months later, 10 months later, he was talking about Deflategate, and I was like, bro, I realized that you are from Boston, but Bill Simmons, you haven't lived in Boston in 20 years, and we are talking about something that nobody cares about but you. Check the temperature of the room, my boy. And the show, it bombed out in like 2 months. Why? Because nobody wants to always hear about the Patriots, always hear about the Red Sox. That's cool for you, Bill Simmons. I get it, but when you're trying to reach a broader audience, you got to do something better than that. Okay, so don't always identify with where you're from, because that is not always going to work in your marketing. It's good to say, hey, I grew up over here, and we did this, we did that. That's cool, but don't don't make that the cross you want to die on. Okay, don't make it all about, oh, I'm from here, I'm tough, I'm from Tennessee, I'm a Texan, I got a Texas size attitude. Nah, nah, nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn about Texas like that. Okay. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, don't hang on to the location identity. It's okay. It's okay to grow up. It's okay to move on. It's okay to root from it. To root for. This is for all the people that live in Atlanta that is from somewhere else. Your damn transplants. It's okay to root for the home team. Okay. We don't care that you grew up a Philadelphia fan. Where you at right now, okay? Get it together. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We will be back tomorrow with the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we will start selling our products. All right. We will have it available for you. Get ready, break out your credit card because we are coming the month of June, we are coming down the pipe. We are gonna be the McDonald's of marketing. Okay, we are going to be the McDonald's podcast. We are coming all the time with different products, telling you the Doctor Escape program is going to help you create the life that you want. Oh, stay tuned for all of that. Okay, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We'll be back tomorrow with all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. God bless each and every one of you. And as always, everybody, peace.